Where's your breath? So most of us, we go through the day not even realizing that we're breathing. We're walking through life with this intelligent divine vehicle called our body, and we are not aware of our breathing. From a Chinese medical point of view, from an Eastern arts qigong point of view, and from the meditation arts, it's very important that you know where your breath is. Why is that so? Finding your center also indicates knowing where your breath is at all times. How do you find your breath? What does that even mean? What does that even entail? It means that most people are not aware where their breath is when they're breathing in. So when you pay attention to your breath, it's as simple as this. Pay attention to where you're breathing. I ask patients this all the time in my private practice. I ask them, where's your breath right now? And I usually get a blank stare. And I bet you if I was on the other side of the table and I was sitting there receiving acupuncture, I'd probably do the same thing. However, that's a way to kind of like excite and to invoke someone by, creating some kind of like a inner curiosity by asking them spontaneously, where's your breath? And the answer is not as important as is the activation of putting attention to where your breath is. So I want to be able to show you how to activate your breath in the moment. Why is that important? Because when you use your breath and you find your breath by visualization, by guiding your breath somewhere in your body as you're already breathing, but by placing mental attention to your natural body's way of breathing, what will happen is that in the moment, you will synchronize not only just the left and the right brain hemisphere in the moment, but also your mind, your body, and your experiences. So your mind, your body, and they say your soul conscious in the moment without even thinking about those three conversations that are happening subconsciously in your mind. You actually put it into a conscious state without even trying by simply guiding your breath into your lower dantian in the moment. And a way of also anchoring your mind so that you can, attract a sense of being within yourself is to know where your center is. And when they say your center, they literally mean the center of your very being in your body. And by activating your breath, by placing attention to it, you can start to allow your body to do what it intelligently does already. Oftentimes, your body is indicating to you, I am not in harmony, and your mind is not connected because, like I said in past videos, you're not aware of your body's beauty and how it actually flows. And all the body wants for you to do is to pay attention to the body, especially if your day's busy, especially if you're stressed and worrying. That's exactly when you want to find your center. And then when you're not stressed and you're finding yourself in a peace state of mind, that's when you continue your cultivation. So it's good to observe both sides of your day when you're looking to find your center. And if with practice and cultivation, you will start to do it naturally. So in the beginning, it may sound like a technique. It may sound like how they call it these days, a mind hack. Your body has three quadrants of existence, the upper jiao or the upper burner, the middle burner, and the lower burner. And the lower burner is actually called the chi of C. There's a point, CV6, that's attributed to the C of chi, C as in ocean, SEA, which means that you are 70% water. And to activate the C of chi is to actually open up and activate your ocean of existence. So by simply paying attention to that acupuncture point or by placing your palm, which I'll be showing you right now in a second, you are activating not only that point, but that entire lower quadrant. And in the Vedic system, it's also your chakra system, which leads up from the first, which is the root, and then you have your sacral and up to the solar plexus. And without thinking of them individually, you are actually activating that state of contraction and expansion, that state of consciousness. And by placing attention to the lower part below your belly of your gut, you will by placing trust into your way of doing it with practice, you will immediately find your center, and you will also be able to bring synchronicity between your mind, body, and spirit in the moment. So I do this every day. It's very simple. Use your right hand, right? And oftentimes when you're stressed and you have anxiety, ask yourself, say, where's my breath? Sometimes I ask myself, where's your center? I use this synergistically. What I do is, without having the answer, right, I place my palm, my right palm, and I put it below my belly. And the best way that I can show you is that if you find your belly button here, this kind of like wedge of your hand right here, called the hugo, is actually where you would see, it would actually naturally surround your belly button like that. And the palm of your hand is actually touching, is actually at the center of CV6 area. And again, you don't have to hit that area exactly. Your whole hand is going to go there, but you want your palm to cross a little bit. So you don't want to go this way. You want to kind of like center it where your fingers feel they're a little bit over on the other side. And again, you feel aligned with hugo and your belly button and right below. And what you do is simply by, you could pretend that you have an acupuncture needle here. You needle yourself here in your mind, or you can tap it and activate yin-yang, right? Which is the connection or the network to your third eye. And by doing that, when you're done, you feel it vibrate. And when you inhale, pay attention to your breath going into your nose, and pay attention to your palm expanding. And allow the rest of your lungs to expand 70% capacity. And naturally come back down and see your palm contract. Do that 10 times. You can do it sitting or standing. The simple thing to do is to observe and see all of your energy starting to descend without even trying to make it happen. And in that moment, you can answer your question, where's your breath? Well, my breath is actually being moved here. And I know where my breath is when I inhale and exhale. The breath becomes a guiding force so that you can find your center, so that you can anchor yourself into your entire sea of existence. And that's how they say within the microcosm of your existence, as above, so below. And your heart is the earth of the as above and so below per se. And your heart, if you take the H and you put it at the end, you have earth. That's a symbolism between earth and your heart. The heart is the microcosm of the vibration of the earth, which is Mother Earth, which is the beauty of love unconditional. And breath is, so that's the divine feminine. And breath is like saying the divine masculine, not gender-based. So what you're doing is divine feminine is yin, divine masculine is yang. And that's also divine feminine, which is the, the right side of the brain, the creative side of the brain. And then divine masculine is the left side of the brain. So you start to balance out the yin and yang between your brain and the lower body. You know what I'm saying? So, you see that indication symbolically, sacredly of this. You start seeing the cross, which is centered at the heart. And now you understand symbolism even further by guiding breath, because now you start to self-illuminate the cross. And I'm not talking religion, I'm talking about sacred geometry, if that makes any sense. And allow that symbol to expand your consciousness simply by finding your center. And this is a quick way to start to anchor your moment, especially if you're experiencing anxiety and you're stressed and you're forgetting that you're breathing. I do this 3, 4, 5, 10 times a day. I do that between patients. And after practice and cultivation, you don't even have to do it 10 times, especially if your day is like busy and you don't have a chance to spend time for yourself. What I do is I activate real quick. I put my hand there and I go 3 breaths. Sometimes I don't even place my hand there, because what happens is that you start to rewire your neuroplasticity and the dynamic between your mind and your body consciousness, where it becomes like you just practiced a sport and you become good at it. Now you simply could just place your mind down here. And what took you maybe 10 breaths, you could do it in 1 instantaneously. Hope this helps.